So this is the TheKingofKpop here with a quick topic review on already people's negative opinions and reviews of Sonisha Day's I Got a Boy. Um, and why they say that they like the boys better now compared to I Got a Boy. When a year ago they didn't like the boys, they thought that was terrible, and now that they have this, they're saying last year's crap was better than this year's crap, according to them. Yeah. Now, I just want to get my thoughts on comparing both songs and why I think I Got a Boy is a better song than The Boys and why I like it better. For me, one of the biggest complaints that people have about this new single is that there's really no consistency. There's a lot of inconsistency in terms of rhythm and beat. It's like the song itself tries to find its identity, because it's one thing and then it turns to something else and then it turns to something else and then it turns to something else. It kind of goes from this dubstep to this. It goes from dubstep to a bubblegum pop sound to indie pop, which I was really surprised that SM would dabble in that area and field in Indian pop music. It does have Indian pop sound elements in it. So it goes from indie pop, from indie pop to kind of just dramatically changes into like I would like to call like a more aggressive alternative version style of Twinkle. The part where they all wear the blonde wigs and they're wearing like the multicolor rain jackets. That part there seems like to me it felt like more of an aggressive style to Twinkle, and then it goes from that right back again to the bubblegum pop dubstep sounds. So it does, change. There is inconsistency. I will agree with that 110%. But to me, in its inconsistency and the constant changes in sounds and the bit of the mashup that you have, I still think this song is catchy and fun, and it keeps me in tune. See, with The Boys is a good song. It's still one of my favorite songs of Sonisha Day, and I love that song. But to me, the way Teddy Riley, I didn't like the way he arranged it, because the way he arranged the song, when you get to around, I'd say about maybe around the first to second hook, there's like this little tune-out period. It's like the song is just like, okay, yeah, the song is catchy, then you have this empty space, and in that empty space, which lasts for about like 10 seconds, you're tuned out, and it goes right back into the song, and then bam, you get this, go right back into this empty space, you're tuned out, and then song, empty space, tuned out. And this like repeats for like 6 to 7 times out of the entire duration of the song. So because of that, The Boys is a good song while you listen to it, but once you turn it off, it's forgettable. There's nothing about it that keeps you in tune after you're done listening. Because the way he arranged it, he has like these little gaps in the song that doesn't really bridge the song together completely, which to me is just a little bit sloppy on Teddy Riley's work, considering I've followed his career for years. One of the few producers I've followed his career for years. It's a bit sloppy to me. So because of that, that's where The Boys to me kind of it's good, but it's only good while you're listening to it. Other than that, when I'm not listening to it, I'm not thinking about the song The Boys. I'm thinking about other songs from Sonisha Day, but The Boys isn't one of them until I play it. But beyond those gaps and periods in the song, it is more consistent. It has more of a consistent level compared to I Got a Boy. But, like I said again, in spite of all those things, this is why I don't really care for, this is why I prefer I Got a Boy over The Boys, because even though you have these mix and mashups, to me, it still keeps me in tune into the song, and it's still a catchy song. And also too, I have to kind of give some slack on SM Entertainment a little bit here, because hip hop is really not SM's forte. I think if you take this song and you take this song and Girls' Generation and you stick them under the YG Entertainment umbrella, you're going to get a way totally different vibe. No doubt about that. Even if you put it on the JYP, you might get something a little bit different. But if you put it under YG, it's gonna be a way different vibe. And you guys know me, I'm a big, huge like YG mark. I'm a, you know, since day one, I've been a YG guy through and through. So I'm not being biased to SM by making this statement, but I will cut them some slack because, like I said, SM can get away with more of R&B, so to speak, and they have done well in the R&B style, but they're just solely off hip-hop. This really isn't their strong suit. But considering that, for what we got in this new single from Girls' Generation, I still thought it was good, and I still thought it was enjoyable. I do think that this song is because it was a bit of a mashup. I do think it was a bit experimental. Kind of song for SM. It was a bit experimental, but to me, I didn't feel like it was all over the place. Despite its random changing, it did not feel all over the place to me. It still kept me in tune, and it was still enjoyable. In the changes, the changes kind of made it enjoyable in a way, so to speak. I know a lot of people may see it in a different light. They may think it's bad, but in its changing, I kind of enjoyed it. Kind of made it enjoyable, not really one-dimensional, and yet still, in its changing and not being one-dimensional, it was still catchy and it still kept me in tune into the song, which is something that's kind of hard to do when you are trying to mix various elements and styles into one song. That's very hard to do. And I thought they pulled this off successfully with this song here, I Got a Boy. You know, also, too, I think the reason why some people kind of like, man, on this is because I think a lot of So Ones had their expectations up way, way, way too high. You know, it's like it's like the old saying: if you have your expectations way too high, you're bound to experience the same amount, if not greater, failure for your expectations that you set. And so I think that's what happened with a lot of So Ones. I think a lot of So Ones set their expectations so high that, you know, they've been gone for a year and now they're back. 70% of them now are kind of like, yeah, this song isn't what I thought it would be. You know, so, but for me, it was a disappointment because just off the teaser, I knew what I was getting myself into, and to me, I enjoyed it. You know, I don't think the teaser at all was misleading in any way, because off the teaser, I even mentioned how just off the teaser, it had a mixture of things. It was hip-hop, but it had a mixture of things. So to me, watching the video, I don't think was a mislead, you know, by any means. You know, and then also too, I also think because some So Ones, you know, I think they were kind of expecting like an O or Run Devil Run or an O Run Devil Run or something, you know, something like that kind of like style, like a version 2, a part 2. But when you got this here, hip hop style, Tanisha Day, they're like, no. Which to me, I don't think it's bad, and realistically, this is really not that heavily hip hop influence. It's a hip hop thing, but it's really not like heavy, where you're thinking about Big Bang or 21 other, you know, really heavy indulged hip hop influenced artists. It doesn't make you think that at all. You know, it has some hip hop elements, but it's not like just like, ooh, like it's just overtaken. I mean, at the end of the day, you still get that Tanisha Day feel. It still has that Girls' Generation sound, that Girls' Generation flavor, but with just a little sprinkle of hip hop. You know, it's not really that complete far left field different compared to what Girls' Generation have done in times past. It's a different concept, but in terms of music and sound and video wise and everything else, it's really not that much different. So I don't see why people complain about that. You know, in my opinion. You know, others may also put out the thought, well, why don't they have Teddy Riley, you know, in this song here? Why they haven't produced this song, since hip-hop is more of a music element that's more familiarized and known amongst the African-American culture? I thought about that. I'm like, yeah, I probably thought if Teddy Riley did this, it probably would come out a little bit different. But considering kind of the mixed reviews that they got from The Boys last year, they probably don't want to risk Teddy Riley putting his hand in the cookie jar for this single. So they're like, oh, we're just going to do it ourselves. So again, like I said, for this not to be really their strong suit and forte, and despite the mix mashup and the constant changing and inconsistency within the song still keeps me in tune. It's still a new, fresh take for Girls' Generation. It's still catchy to me. Which, like I said, all positives I prefer over The Boys. And I still like The Boys, but this is why I prefer this over The Boys. And like I said, and considering for what we got from SM, I don't think it was bad. I think it was passable. So because this is a field of music today, I think they are very well unexperienced in, and you can tell that with just the song how unexperienced they are in this field. But it was still a good, catchy song to me. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment box below. Subscribe. Peace.